Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Welcome. This is a late night out, about 10 to 10 here, and due to some things that have come up recently about how people contact us about what's going on other people's channels, what's being said about us, you know, stuff like this that they believe will help, and often do. Well, it seemed to me that when we choose who to follow on any channel, not just mine, ours operates on exactly the same yardstick as anybody else's, and it seemed to me that maybe we should look at how we choose a channel as the same as being how we choose a friend. Now, how do we choose a friend? Well, we choose a friend who is loyal to us, who tells us the truth, who doesn't BS us, who, we can depend on to have an interesting time. But there are many other factors that come in when it's a channel. Well, we still want to be told the truth. We still want things to be open and honest, and not to have, say, a hidden agenda. Now, a hidden agenda, boy, that's a whole, I don't know, jar of worms. And when people are putting on a certain subject, there will be an agenda. And the agenda is either out in the open or it's not. And sometimes it can be very, very, persuasive, but actually not being too honest. And that's the way that I have to think about the agenda. Now, before I actually started talking to Beth about having a channel of our own, maybe we should be doing videos, for several years I'd been working quite hard on my Facebook page, and you can still go to my Facebook page and find out all kinds of retro stuff about Beth and I and our life together. So we were already into chronicling our life together and its ups and downs, and certainly everything that happened to us from when we came to Bohol is certainly there on my Facebook page. So you can always go there and find out stuff which you may be interested in knowing. Well, when we first came, we decided that we would have certain goals, and we worked away at those goals, which eventually led us to start our channel. Well, prior to that, I'd been looking and subscribing to various channels, and the ones that come up, obviously, as I'm an expat and I'm looking for certain information, the best place to go for information sometimes is the expat sites. Well, I went to quite a few different expat sites, and I think that most people now know what my opinion is of a lot of those sites, and a lot of what passes for the comments and information and judgmental thinking, and I didn't like it. So there's my first yardstick for deciding what kind of channel I would be interested in looking at every day. Now, before that, the kind of channel that I had an interest in might be music, it might be art. So I actually subscribe to quite a few great art channels, especially the ones that did the speed drawing, where you can see a fabulous painting done in just a few minutes. Those were terrific, and I really enjoyed those. But of course, lately, since I got here and we started taking an interest in how things were done, we started getting more onto the actual channels that were dealing in a similar kind of thing to what we're doing, and that is describing a lifestyle. And we decided, as you know, right from the start, that we would be doing ordinary life, and that's proved to be fairly successful. We still are not so good at doing some of the quality or the tech stuff. We're not meeting all of the tech challenges, which we've dealt with in another video, but in the main we've established what I wanted to call right from the start a feel-good channel. Now that brings you to the choice that you must make, I feel, as to what kind of channel that you want to be looking at. Now for me it's a no-brainer. If I watch something, I want to come away feeling better. That doesn't seem to be quite so common and quite such a no-brainer as you would think. But if you relate it to friendships, then some friendships, not all friendships can be regarded as friendships. They can be regarded as association or relationships, but when you call somebody a friend, that's quite different. Now, having friends as an expat brings with it certain limitations, certain challenges, because plain and simple, there aren't too many expats that are available to you to choose as friends. So that can be something of a challenge, and has been a challenge for me, certainly, to the point where I've said I'm firing that person as a friend, and I ain't spending any more time on that. Well, then once you've done that, and this applies certainly in the channel, as far as the channel goes, once you've rejected someone as a friend, they become an enemy, and when they become an enemy, then they start to probably to pour some negative energy your way. Now, how do you get over that? Well, there are ways to get over it, and I've explored most of them of late. But choosing a channel, I feel, should not involve you in a lot of internal squabbling, as it has been described certainly to me in the past. And so you really want to be looking at your channel as a friend, and do you enjoy spending time with that channel? Do you listen to arguments which have nothing to do with you? Do you listen to any backbiting? Do you listen to a lot of negative energy? Or what's the ratio of negative energy? Maybe that's a better way to describe it. So what's the ratio of negative energy to positive energy? Well, like any friendship, it has to swing in favor of the positive, because if it swings in favor of the negative, you're just going to feel like crap when you actually turn off. Not only will you feel that way when you turn off, the light will have gone out of your life to a certain extent, to the extent that the swing is over to the negative. Now, do the comments in the channel that you are currently watching, do they have a mainly positive tone to them? Are they mainly positive? Are they mainly about saying, this is great, wish you well, happy to see this, or do they swing the other way? Right? Now that's an easy one to look at, and if you switch off for a moment on judging whether this one is right or that one is wrong, and just look at how the comments are coming over as a person, and do you feel that they've enlightened your life? Do you feel better? Do you feel more hopeful about life, or not? Now I know that there are people that I've met in my life, in my long life, who I would automatically know when something negative happened to me, a negative experience. I would know that, oh, that's a story that so-and-so will enjoy hearing. Because I would know that there are certain people in my life, always have been, and I suspect in yours, that tend to be more negative than positive, and they'll be the ones that want to hear that you couldn't find a parking space, that somebody overcharged you at the store, that you lost your wallet, that somebody behaved like a real idiot, that you had a fight, that life sucks, that people suck, that you're not feeling good. All of those will detract from your sense of well-being. And if you have someone who enjoys those kind of stories, think very seriously about spending less time with her or him, because you're paying a heavy price in terms of your well-being by staying there. Now, why? Because if you spend an hour with someone and they are full of negative stories, when you leave, you will continue to have thoughts about those people, that person, her, him, it. You'll continue to have those conversations, and you will find that you are repeating in your mind certain negative comments that they enjoy saying. I knew someone who used to say, "People suck." This was in the US. Always used to say, "Yeah, well, people suck." Guess what? People sucked for him, and they did. And he pulled in. He used to make himself a magnet for the kind of experience that would justify and make him right on the fact, his fact, that people sucked. So what's the alternative? The alternative is to choose a channel, a friend, which in your opinion brings light into your life, that makes you feel better. If you don't know by now what makes you feel better, well, you might have to do a little bit of work after you turn this video off and start trying to decide whether what you experience in a day is actually making you feel better. But for my money, you should be looking for a relationship, a channel, a friend who makes you feel better. And we all have people who are dream crushers that we say, "Oh, don't tell him anything like that." In the US, in London, they'd say, "Don't put the mockers on it." And that would mean that if you told somebody of a great idea and they said, "Are you insane? Don't put the mockers on it. Stay away from that guy." Okay, so this is what choosing a channel should be about. Now, I have people who stay loyal to me but look at other channels who are in opposition to me, and they believe with the best of intention that they should tell me what is being said or this or that, and they only check out other channels who are in opposition to me in their viewpoints and opinions and the way that we work, and so they check them out, and I suggest to you, if you do that, that you're paying a heavy price for looking at something if it's actually negative compared to your general train of thought. So think again if you want to continue doing that, right? Meantime, my own way of looking for a channel is find something that makes you feel good. Now, it's not unusual, it's not new, it's not brain surgery to say the more that you listen to the news, the worse you'll feel, the more afraid you'll feel. And it's been a common feel-good thing that if you really want to start feeling a lot better about life in general, one of the first steps is to stop watching the news, because usually if there's a murder they'll find out about it and they'll show you, especially in the Philippines, they'll show you a graphic reenactment of what happened, and boy, you'll end up not wanting to go out after dark. So I think you should, I try to stay away from that. I value my sense of well-being very highly, and so that's why Beth and I have decided that our channel is not going to have a lot of petty backbiting. It's not going to have that. So we just delete and block now. But apparently blocking means that other people can see who has been blocked, but we can't. Well, okay, that has to work for me. So choose your channel with care. Choose one that makes you feel good. Only you know what makes you feel good. Not everybody is feeling good about the same things. Some people live in fear of various aspects of life, and they want to have that fear confirmed by news about whatever it is that they're afraid of happening. Well, okay, it's not the way that I want to be. It's not the way that I recommend anybody should be. So I've chosen the kind of channel that I like to be involved with, to subscribe to, and I like the feel-good things. I like to feel good. I like to be happy. I'd like to think that that what Beth and I do makes other people feel happy. So that's all that I have to say on this now. Thanks a lot. Just my opinion, as I tried to say many times. So this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Stay feeling good. Watch what you watch. Be careful what you listen to. And feeling good is an art until you really get it down. Bye for now.